Hi, I'm Joost Daniels. I'm a research engineer at MBARI in the Bioinspiration Lab, and I build and use cameras underwater.
All right, so what you're looking at here is an instrument we've endearingly started calling the Anglerfish. This is a bio-inspired instrument, and I'll explain to you how it came to be. This used to be called Iris, and it still kind of is. This instrument here is Iris, which is a very specialized camera instrument. It uses a very special sensor to be able to capture 3D video. And we've been using it for years now with a big light array that was mounted right here. So we had lights, we actually had 6 lights, one from below, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. And then we were imaging corals yesterday. We wanted to capture the flow around corals moving around in this space over here. So we had this bright coral, particles flowing through the water, and we had a big problem. We brought all these lights. The ROV has all these lights as well, but it's really illuminating these bright light corals in their background, but not really the particles so much. So we found a real limitation to the way we were illuminating the scene, and our lights just weren't cutting it. We needed more light exactly in the place where we needed it. And then we came with the idea of what is essentially this anglerfish. An anglerfish brings light into the ocean exactly where it needs it, hanging its little dangly bit over there so that other animals are attracted to it. So what happens, you get the light exactly where you want it, and that's what we were after. So this is what we came up with in the evening after our ROV dive, with all the components we already had. So we took these arms with lights off the side over here, here, and there, combined them into this extra long boom with 2 lights at the end over there. You might even see these very special super material rubbery shroud strips to allow us to point this light just onto the particles in the water that we want to look at and not illuminate the coral that is sort of in between. So you've got to imagine what we're doing then is that the coral fan is over here with the water flowing through this direction, and now we're no longer illuminating the coral so much. A little bit of light will still hit it, but we're definitely illuminating the particles because we're so close to it. As a bonus, we already had this fancy hydraulic system to operate these lights over here. So we can actually adjust the angle of the boom of this anglerfish a little bit like so. So we are actually very pleased with the result. Like often happens with these impromptu engineering exercises, we expect that it will fail within 5 minutes, or at least we find out within just a couple minutes, we should have done it this way or that way. But lo and behold, today actually I thought this went just as close to perfect as it could have been. We were very worried about the sway in here and the mechanical rigidity in here. But although it's floppy like an anglerfish, it worked out perfectly for what we wanted to do. And there you have it, the anglerfish.